Alright Laker fans, it's once again game day. The Lakers taking on the Miami Heat in a cross-country matchup at Crypto.com Arena. Still think that should be Staples, by the way. But entering tonight, the Lakers now have a 4-2 record following their NBA Cup win over Memphis, entering this matchup with a 1-2 record at home and a undefeated 3-0 record on the road. So they're trying to get that back to 500 on their own home court and defend their own home court tonight too. And well, with them finally having Luka Doncic back, getting Marcus Smart back, nearly having a fully healthy rotation, obviously sans LeBron, Gabe Vincent, and Maxi Kleber, they're slowly but surely getting healthy and figuring out who they are too, both offensively, defensively, and simply with their rotation too. Which, in my opinion, is something that they are really figuring out, that being their rotation. Last game, they had a starting lineup of Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Marcus Smart, Rui Hachimura, and DeAndre Ayton for half of it, then Jackson Hayes for the half that Ayton did not play. And in my opinion, they are likely to and should be going back to that starting lineup. Having Marcus Smart in there, having him over maybe Jared Vanderbilt, the currently hurt Gabe Vincent, obviously the currently hurt LeBron, but taking him over Jared Vanderbilt or Jake LaRavia off the bench. And he showed why last game too. I mean, whether you're talking about the defense, the leadership, communication, specifically the defense on Ja Morant, in which he held Ja Morant to only 8 points, 0 points during the second half, yes, literally 0 points, a donut during the second half, 0 for 7 from the field. Overall in the game, only 3 for 14, 0 of 6 from beyond the arc. Definitely frustrating Ja Morant, likely leading to him making those post-game comments about the coaching staff not playing him much and him not being happy with the coaching staff, which ultimately resulted in a 1-game suspension for him. I think you can largely contribute that to the Lakers defense, mainly Marcus Smart, and what they did against them. So pointing to that with it, what Marcus Smart has done for their team when healthy, and the way he really makes the fit combination of Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura fit, I think it's their best option. But if you don't want to take it from me, then take it from both the numbers and the eye test, both of which we're going to talk about during today's video. Talk about what Marcus Smart has done for their team, the lineup combinations he's been a part of and how they've rated, how their defenses look with him on the court, and much, much more. So we're going to talk about that and try to break it all down here. And well, beginning with the lineup combination that I keep talking about, again, the Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, himself, Marcus Smart, Rui Hachimura, and DeAndre Ayton. That lineup played pretty well last game, even more so after halftime, which unfortunately did not contain DeAndre Ayton, leaving the game with back spasms and not returning, despite Redick saying he probably could have, but he didn't want to push him. After halftime, they came out with Jackson Hayes over DeAndre Ayton, and the 5-man combination of Hayes, Hachimura, Marcus Smart, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves worked incredibly well together. I mean, per net rating, that 5-man combination had a plus 38.9 net rating, only being behind the combination of Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, and Jake LaRavia as their best 5-man combination per net rating that has played at least 10 minutes so far. And well, with that being their first game together, I think that's very impressive. Following this game, I think they'll turn to it more often. I think they can replicate it with DeAndre Ayton over Jackson Hayes. That's not really a big difference in my opinion, given that Ayton's healthy. But pointing to that, I think it's a really good sign with Marcus Smart, how well he fits in their lineup, how well he makes the combination fit again of Luka, Reeves, and Hachimura, taking on the toughest defensive matchup for them, so they don't have to and they can focus more offensively, don't have to play out of their role on defense and trying to take on a matchup they're not meant to take on. I think he's been great for doing that. Not only that though, but then motivating them on defense, pushing them to get back on defense and get their defense set up. I think that's a big part of it too. An often overlooked factor and something we can't track via numbers is simply communication and leadership, both of which Marcus Smart does incredibly well and is pretty much a natural at it too. Even when talking to Luka Doncic or LeBron eventually, he's not afraid to tell them to play defense or where to go on defense, to be more committed on defense, whatever it might be. He's not afraid of that, and I love that about Marcus Smart. But do not get it twisted, he can definitely take on some tough matchups yet. He's not all talk and simply a team defender, he's a very good individual defender too. I mean, we've seen it in their last game against Memphis, I talked about it with Ja Morant, Marcus Smart bothering him, likely taking that matchup a bit personal. After all, they are former teammates and Memphis did trade him away. So pointing to that matchup, pointing to the Anthony Edwards matchup, the first time they played the T-Wolves, Marcus Smart did incredibly well on him, forcing a few turnovers and literally ripping the ball away from Ant on a couple plays. you can point to that with him, pointing to the Sacramento matchup, him taking on DeMar DeRozan, sometimes Zach LaVine, intertwining between both of them, and I think he's held his ground incredibly well, both individually and as a team defender too. I mean, with their switch-happy defense, we might find Marcus Smart on a power forward, even a center at times, and he's never going to back down. I love what he's shown, both from an eye test standpoint, pointing to the matchups again, even from a numbers standpoint. Again, the lineup data I pointed to, that being the 5-man combination data, we'll point to more of it in a second here, or even the individual numbers with him, averaging 1.3 steals per game in 27 minutes per game, nearly 2 of them per 36 minutes, averaging over 3 deflections per game. Definitely very impressive for Marcus Smart, and again, the guy is definitely not washed up. Neither from an individual standpoint, a defensive standpoint, the guy has a lot to offer their team and he's showing it too. But talking more about the combination of himself, Luka Doncic, and or Austin Reeves and how effective that 3-man combination has been, it's been very effective. Up until this point, they have played 41 total minutes together, having a net rating of plus 24.2, the second best of any lineup combination that's played over 40 minutes, only falling behind the combination of Marcus Smart, Luka Doncic, and Rui Hachimura, also being very close to the combination of Marcus Smart, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura. So really that forward lineup man combination has been incredibly effective. On top of that though, you can tell that Marcus Smart has made up for them defensively, likely has even improved their defense too, as their defensive rating together, yes, both with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, neither of which are known for their defense and often fans even point out their bad defense, they have a 95.3 defensive rating, which if you're not aware, is absolutely elite. And no, they have not suffered offensively in spite of it, even with Marcus Smart not really knocking down the 3-point shot yet, only shooting 18.2%, so now factor in the offensive rating, which again is still very good with them, having a 119.5 offensive rating, which would currently be a top 10 rating in the NBA right now. Factor in some better 3-point shooting with Marcus Smart, factor that in and a little bit more time together, I think their offense will only improve, while staying pretty damn good defensively. And in my opinion, with their currently healthy and available options, this is their best 3-man lineup combination, especially in their backcourt. And well, then to factor in that fourth player that I did kind of allude to before, Rui Hachimura, with a 4-man combination of Hachimura, Smart, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves, that has been by far their best 4-man lineup combination. Up until this point, they have played 33 total minutes together, having a net rating of plus 24.5, absolutely elite for a 4-man lineup combination, in spite of only 33 minutes together, then a 94.0 defense rating, a 119.4 offensive rating, absolutely elite all across the board and really point how well they fit together. You know, whether you're talking about the offense, defense, both ends of the court, what they're doing together and how they work chemistry-wise, it's been very effective and very good. So now kind of replace Hachimura eventually with LeBron, as I think that's what they will and probably should do. I think it'll work relatively the same way, with LeBron obviously still being very good offensively, can be good defensively and comparable to Hachimura. I think it'll work for them. So in my opinion, having Marcus Smart as a permanent starter for them, with or without LeBron, when he does come back or until he does come back, I think that's their best combination, and up until this point, it's been proven to be pretty deadly too. Whether you're talking about the 3-man combination of himself, Doncic, and Austin Reeves, or with Hachimura factored in there too, it's been pretty damn good. Heck, even with the 5-man combination they showed last game, of himself, Luka, Austin, Rui Hachimura, and Jackson Hayes. So up until this point, I think it's been proven to work. I'm very curious to watch it again in their game tonight, taking on a Miami Heat team with a lineup of Davion Mitchell, Norman Powell, if he does play and if he's healthy, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, and Kel'el Ware. I think it'll be another test for them, a relatively tough test, with Miami playing pretty well, entering tonight with a 3-2 record. So I'm interested to watch how they match up with them. You know, Smart will likely take on the Norman Powell matchup if Norman Powell plays, but if not, probably Andrew Wiggins. Then for Rui Hachimura taking on Bam Adebayo, Hayes or DeAndre Ayton, whoever plays, taking on Kel'el Ware, Luka probably taking on Andrew Wiggins, and then Austin Reeves taking on Davion Mitchell. That'll be an interesting matchup to watch play out. But up until this point, the Lakers, and again really specifically, the 3-man combination of Smart, Reeves, and Doncic have given me a lot of confidence, even on both ends of the court too. But with that in mind here, what do you guys think? How do you feel about what the Lakers have shown so far? How do you feel about Marcus Smart, him being a part of their starting lineup and being a part of their most effective lineup combinations, really a majority of them, up until this point? How do you feel about it? How do you think it should affect their lineups going forward? Have they found their pretty much permanent starting five, just replacing Hachimura with LeBron when he comes back? Or how do you feel about all that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching, and have a great day or night.